Hello, everyone, and today I'm bringing you episode 11 of the PsycheWard podcast. Today I have with me a returning and constantly occurring guest, Rashad Lyles. Rashad, say hello to the people and welcome back.
Hello to the people. I'm back again.
I guess we did technically say the welcome back part, too. Alright, so we're just going to jump right in today. First thing I want to talk about is, we talked about it earlier, I want to go back on the Kardashians. Now, what did you say that... You said something about like what it was linked to, or what was like what mirrors it. I think it was Dark Souls.
Oh, in Dark Souls, the final boss was a queen, and she was a queen of want, and her and all her sisters were meant to seek out power across the kingdom and dominate and corrupt the minds of strong men in order to do what they want and further their evil goals. Not saying the Kardashians are evil, but...
Not saying the Kardashians are evil, but like, it almost seems like every time one of them gets to a certain like level of status, they temporarily attach themselves to an incredibly famous person in a specific genre. Like basketball, music, a lot of music, but basketball, music, mainly other athletic things.
Always celebrities.
Other celebrities. And they're not even celebrities. They're just famous
Rich
because...
men.
Yeah. And then it never works. They always move on to something else. And it's always another rich man and celebrity. But like in the case of Kylie Jenner, like did anybody know who Kylie Jenner was before she dated Tyga?
Not for being Kylie Jenner.
I know she built...
being their sister.
I know she supposedly built her makeup brand, but... Your dad's Bruce Jenner and you come from the Kardashian family, so you building it from the ground up is kind of a stretch. Not to say that hard work wasn't done, but it was hard work done from being built.
It was a lot easier for her. Don't want to diminish her.
The accomplishment is the accomplishment, but things were given for the accomplishment. But, like, which one is the one that dated Lamar Odom? Isn't that Khloe Kardashian?
I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
No, not Khloe. Not Khloe. Which one is it? It's Khloe, Kim.
Kim is with Kanye.
Yeah. Apparently, Kim Kardashian. I think I told you about this. Kim Kardashian like is getting people freed out of jail on like non-violent drug charges.
That's cool. It would be great if they could let more people out for not even non-violent offenses, just drug charges, minor marijuana charges.
I don't know. It still just really feels like the Kardashians have like way too much influence in like politics, music, fashion. Like it's almost like they set the body standards too.
They helped set it. It was there in a way, but they changed it to the more modern version.
I've seen a lot more Kim Kardashian style bodies after Kim Kardashian got that body, because plastic surgery.
She influenced it. She helped influence it. Made it more popular.
Like the big lips. What's it like? The big lips, small nose, big chest, unnaturally thin waist into the like huge... I'm not even going to say like hips, because it's not even huge hips. It's just like a ball
nice
on their ass, bruh. That's all it looked like.
It's a nice lump of plastic.
A nice lump of plastic that then becomes their legs. And I don't understand it. And then, like, Bruce Jenner. I mean, not on the part of him being a transgender man, but...
I think you have to say Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner? He existed for so long as the other one. I get it confused. But Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year. First year as a woman. And not to say that whatever Caitlyn Jenner did wasn't a feat of whatever it was to the people that are in that delegation, but
it kind of diminishes the accomplishments of all the other women who were nominated.
And I don't understand the Kardashian family. It's like they do things and everyone's just like, wow, it's pretty fucked up, but I like it. Like, yeah, get plastic surgery. Man, it's body. It's like body modification, but it's okay. They're like the body.
So
they're like
any body
they're like
modification
the body
bad?
modification family, bro.
Is body modification bad?
No, because technically tattoos are body modification. It's a form of self-expression, but the same people that would talk, not on the subject of the Kardashians anymore, but the same people that would talk about transgender people like being sick or mentally ill are the same people that want plastic surgery for their lips and their thighs and their butts and their breast. How is that any different? You want to in a sense, like in a medical sense, you want to mutilate your body to make it look a different way because that is how you feel you should look. So how is that any different? There's nothing but hypocrisy behind it.
Changing a gender behind it, I don't know.
It's you still just mutilating your body to be something it wasn't originally. I don't care about your motives. You're still undergoing
something. It's removing
something.
an organ. It's removing an entire organ.
Not all get the organ removed.
It's mainly an organ removal.
That doesn't make you transgender. The surgery is not what makes you transgender.
Okay, then, but we were talking about the body modification version of it.
That's still what I'm saying, though. Some people get their breasts reduced. That's still a body modified. That's a body modification surgery. Some people get breast implants. On both sides of it. So it's still body modification. They just have different reasons behind it. Some people want bigger boobs. Some people want smaller boobs because they feel like they want to be more. They feel like they want their body to look and resemble that of a man.
Okay, some people want piercings and some people want.
But they're judging each other's behind.
Larger ears.
There's the judgment behind the decisions, is what I'm talking about. It's incredibly hypocritical in nature. Like, the Kardashians are the country's super accepted family, but they're all literally like products of plastic surgery. They're damn near the first family of America without being in the White House. What influence do they not have some hand
Put
in?
the Smith family ahead of the Kardashians.
Who are the Smiths?
How dare you?
Will, there's a lot of people.
Willow.
Okay, that's Smith. There's a lot of Smiths, bro.
Jada.
I wouldn't even say they're the first family, man. Will Smith ain't been in the White House. Will Smith ain't meeting with Donald Trump and getting nonviolent drug charges dropped. Kim Kardashian is. Kanye meeting with Donald Trump. Yeah. Kanye is a part of the Kardashian family now. Several kids. We're going to hop off the...
Talking about the Kardashians.
We're going to hop off how society is influenced and affected by the Kardashians, because who knows if they're really all that bad. I don't know them personally, but it seems their influence does affect a lot of things that go on. But, Rashad, you seen the Joker?
I have indeed.
Alright, so like what? I'm actually like official 1 out of 10. What's your rating on that movie? Because, okay, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people. There's two sides to what I see. There are people saying that on the far extreme that it was too much and they walked out because they couldn't handle it. It was too triggering. And then you have people that watched it and they're watching it like this is not a Joker movie. This is like some whiny little bitch. Like, they just got mad and decided to shoot people. This isn't a hero. This isn't the Joker. The Joker is used to carnage and mayhem and blah, 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 blah. Not some sad, laughing clown. But there's two sides to it. My personal opinion of the movie is it was an accurate reflection of, like, I think it's, while the Joker's still a bad guy, there's always been the hints in Gotham, because Batman's a billionaire, but he just spends his money on a suit and gadgets to beat the shit out of the people in the city.
The Joker's a regular guy who just comes up with the money through nefarious means.
Joker's slick, give people jobs, bro. And Batman just show up and break their collarbones because they got paid to unload a truck. Like, that's just... And Batman can help the slums of his city. He's a billionaire. He can afford a, like, stealth jet that can keep up with, like, Superman at certain speeds. But he can't help, like... the impoverished people of Gotham City?
He's helping them through... Well, he's trying to help them through stopping the criminals and shit. But
he's just beating them up.
You went way too far. Back to the Joker movie.
Okay, but yeah, like what I think that's just. I always thought Joker kind of had like a method to his madness. Like he was the counter to what Batman was, just to show Batman that like you're no different than me. You're just out here taking out your shit on people just like I am. That's why we're one and the same.
Well, with the newest Joker, I like to think it was like a prequel to the Heath Ledger Joker, like a little bit of how he could have been before he became the Joker.
I could actually see that. Like if canonly like he just transferred like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker transferred over to being the Heath Ledger Joker, I could see
he only went crazier and crazier when he was in Arkham. And
that man did blow up hospital
so many
everything.
things.
Like Heath Ledger Joker was about that life.
Heath Ledger Joker was alright. Rest in peace.
God damn, I guess Heath Ledger was about that life. R.I.P. Heath Ledger.
They say it's a curse behind that role. You play the Joker, you go a little crazy, and
is that why Jared Leto was so upset that they? That's why he was so upset that they didn't like give him a sequel or anything. They just dropped his ass as the Joker.
They gave him a terrible version and they just dropped him. It just looks bad on his career.
You're gangster Joker with guns. You've never existed in any universe, but we're gonna put you on the screen now. Joker drives a Bugatti.
Bad.
Yeah, bro, that was just. But I don't know from the movie, like how they. Spoiler alert, by the way, because we haven't said any spoilers so far. So spoiler alert if you're listening to this and haven't seen the Joker. It's been out for about a month. Has anybody not seen Joker?
It's been out long enough.
I'll try and keep it like as spoiler light as possible, and I'll tackle the aspects that weren't unique to the movie, but just unique to its like depiction of society. So, in Joker, the first thing we really see is that like how people treat clowns, or just people that are different. That's what it really reflected. Cause you see, he was. Like even in the previews, they showed this in the trailer, so this isn't even a direct spoiler. He was on the street sign, which was like he was supposed to be in downtown Gotham, but in the movie it really looks like a New York City street, bustling, busy, a bunch of towers and people. He's just twirling the sign, being a street twirling clown, I guess.
Yeah.
Sign twirling clown on the street. There we go. These kids randomly snatch a sign. Now, through all of this, he is saying, like, help, somebody stop them, stop. No one did anything. No one paid attention. Now, a lot of people will say that's exactly how New York City is in real life. And that's exactly how the bigger cities are in real life. So there's already that to reflect on. But then he turns the corner and they just smash him in the face with the sign and then proceed to just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, and then said, "Come on, beat his ass. He can't do anything."
Yeah, that's one of the main things because I think that might because even though that was basically in the trailer, I think that like that right there was probably a triggering moment for a lot of people because like anyone that's been like jumped or ganged up on, like I've seen it happen and I've had it happen to me. Like there will be people there that are just a part of the group that will not participate in it at first, and once one or two people in the group start doing it,
they just jump in.
It's like a primal urge to just be like, hey, if I don't do it, they're gonna do it to me.
Hey, why not free hits?
That's exactly what people do.
I got some anger I want to let out.
But on top of that, it's just also a reflection of like the mental. The movie goes deep into like how society treats the mentally ill, because the entire time that's what he is. He's mentally ill. And he makes allowances for it. He hasn't hurt anyone. He's just, in reality, a sad man living a sad life.
With a very sad set of cards dealt to him.
Yes. But Arthur hasn't done anything to hurt anyone or do anything to anyone. Shout out to them naming him Arthur, because now I got two Arthurs from, like, popular media that are forever in my memory. Arthur Morgan
and Arthur Fleck.
Arthur Fleck. Damn, who is Arthur Pendragon?
Arthur Pendragon.
Is that the...
Camelot.
Is that the King of Camelot? Shout out to the Arthurs.
3 Arthurs.
But, like, during the movie, like, he loses contact and help from the mental health facilities. As a lot of people in real life do, he stops taking his meds. He experiences the euphoria and uplifted state of not taking his meds.
Being his regular self.
And being his regular self, essentially. And movie devolves from there. A lot of stuff happens from there. A lot of stuff happens before that, but I'm not going to feed directly into any spoilers. I'm just going to talk about the real life aspects. The other aspect that the movie definitely seems to tackle is like the obvious thing. Like a lot of media now is tackling, as I said in the previous show, that is wealth inequality. Like throughout the entire movie, you saw that the lower income people of Gotham did not like the higher ups of Gotham. They didn't like the executive.
They didn't think they were doing enough for the people.
Yeah. Because they like the whole movie, you notice there's trash lining up throughout the streets. Even in the preview, you see trash lining up throughout the streets. There was a strike, just like the strike in New York, or the classic garbage man strikes that have taken place in most areas with a sanitation department.
Yeah,
they fight for their wages, and they literally have to strike against the city because they're the ones that take the rich people's trash. But throughout the whole movie, there's just like that there's that subtle tension, and it's not so much as that people were all crazy like the Joker or mentally ill like the Joker. It's that they were just sick of shit being the way it was.
Everybody was already disgruntled, and they just got a figurehead to rally behind who they thought stood for exactly what they believed in, and would go through and do the actions that they really wanted to do. The
movie is brilliant. Like, it has a lot of good staging, and it honestly I say, in comparison to the Heath Ledger Joker, I'd rate them at about equally the same. Heath Ledger Joker showing the more extreme side of the Joker, and he was also incredibly calculated, like with all his plans, and especially how he just happened to use bombs in very nefarious ways. Like, you thought this bomb was going to go off, but it didn't. But actually, both the bombs went off.
Joker was an evil genius in his own way.
This was basically, in my opinion, more of a birth of the Joker film for anyone who hasn't watched it.
What was it rated? Was it rated R 14?
It had to be rated R. There's no way that movie wasn't rated R. Like, if someone's getting, like, gored, that is rated R, right? Like, head blown off, shot in the face, stabbed, etc., etc. That's rated R.
I guess. Okay.
I will not assume that it's PG-13. But even on top of that, like, in other forms of popular media, I'm gonna refer to like the last show about this a lot. Like, you seen any of the new episodes of South Park?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with the new season.
Okay, so you see how like they are literally just clowning current society.
Yeah. That's what they do every season. They just take whatever topic.
Have you seen? Okay, like
that new episode.
The newest episode. I don't remember the exact title of it, but basically, it's about plant-based burgers. Have you seen that one? That burgers. Episode. Again, spoiler alert, but I'll try and keep it to a minimum.
Let them eat goo. That's what it is.
Like, Cartman does a speech basically towards the end of the episode because he was mad that they tried to replace all the good old cafeteria foods that he loved, like corn dogs, hamburgers, sloppy joes, etc. And they replaced them with healthy alternatives. But in reality, it was just really the same. It's just, instead of like shittily processed meat, it's shittily processed plant matter. But
it's still just as bad for them.
It's still just as bad for you, but in a different way. And then, like, that's really what I look at when I look at, like, have you tried the Impossible Burger?
No, I've never tried it.
Bro, it tastes like actual garbage. Because you know me, I always, like, stop and have, like, a slight issue when it comes to vegan things and vegans in nature.
Yeah, you hate vegans.
I don't necessarily hate them. I hate the uppity ones that like to preach their ideology because they want to stand on a soapbox. It's one thing to go, yeah, man, this is why I do this. I'm like, okay, yeah, man, that's what's up. It's another thing to just see me do anything that involves meat and just be like, you're a murderer. All right, bro. I'm going to wait till you eat anything and tell you you're a murderer, too. Anything grain-based and everything that got murdered.
Any set of beliefs, though?
So what's the point? Why are you in my ass? Quite literally. They get in your ass, bro. Like, they literally like are like a ravenous hyena.
It's not just vegans, though.
I don't give a fuck. But guess what? We talking about food and plant matter, so this pertains to vegans. Anyone that wants to be uppity and stand on the soapbox and try and preach down from a moral high ground when they do things that are equally corrupt can bite it. That's just a fact of nature. Stop lying to yourself and realize, like, the only reason you're pursuing something so hard is because you are that itself. Anywho, back to the uppity vegans. Vegans, I don't even know the point I was gonna go to, but now I'm gonna just say how like when they're uppity and they talk about the destruction of animals, like the meat industry, I will say industrial farming and agriculture does contribute heavily to like fucking the planet.
Yeah, because they always have to tear down new forests to make way for more monoculture agriculture.
See, that's the biggest thing. They're just like, yeah, like they're gonna kill all these cows, and I'm just like, yeah, they killed all those damn forest animals to make way for your avocado orchard, Becky. But you love avocados and the new superfoods.
There's a lot of gang
kale.
activity related to avocados in Mexico.
There really is.
Like the cartels forcing the avocado farmers to grow for them.
I heard there was literally like, there's an avocado orchard like bigger than like New York. And to be fair, like the city of New York, it might be like sprawling, but in terms of like per capita, it's actually not that big. But that's still a large amount of land dedicated to fucking avocados. And avocados, guess what they need a lot of? Water. So like, it's just the ignorance of it that somebody can stand in front of you and preach their side while just being completely ignorant of everything their side does. Like, you're either gonna like acknowledge your side in it too, because everything we have, our clothes, our phones, something very likely died to make it, or a material in it was made from something that had to die.
So why argue about anything then?
You can argue for more ethical treatment of shit, but we eat meat as an evolutionary like change, bro. There are theories heavily leading to the fact that we started eating meat as to why our brains got bigger and why we became self-aware.
Yeah,
all animals that only eat vegetables are like essentially hamsters in the mind.
If you ate meat, you got a bigger brain.
Predators have to be smart. That's the thing. Humans aren't necessarily built and equipped to be predators, but we have the minds to build shit and do what we want.
We got to kill and eat meat.
But
figure out how.
Oh yeah, I was on the South Park thing and I went off on a sprawling conversation about vegans. But in South Park, basically, the other thing that got hinted was like Randy basically started making plant matter burgers too, but they were made of his pot trimmings.
Yeah.
And everyone was smashing them. And it kind of, in my opinion, I think that was kind of a nod to like, I think South Park was also stating how like now that weed's legal, people are just going to be like,
do whatever the hell you can with weed.
Yeah, some people are just going to be at work like eating a weed sandwich like, yeah.
Anything made out of weed is just going to be what's up.
With a sandwich. I think they were also hitting towards that side. And I definitely don't agree with that side of like the whole weed stoner movement. Like, if you're going to do it, I definitely don't think you should be able to just do it in a workplace. I don't think you should be a teacher and be blitzed and be like in a room full of school children.
I mean, that type of teacher would just get fired, and then they bring in a teacher who didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even in Colorado now they probably still just fire you if you like intoxicated on the job.
I mean, do what you want, but suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Do what you want, but suffer the consequences. But that was definitely a nod to that, and then it hinted to like how Randy sold out to China, which is kind of like big right now with the controversy that's going on in Hong Kong, where there are like literally people in the streets like fighting for their freedom and dying.
But Randy just gave in to China.
Yeah, or like there was this thing in real life with like LeBron James where he said, I think he's specifically, I'm paraphrasing.
Somebody in the NBA said something against China, and LeBron came on an interview and said he pretty much that he should mind his business because what he was saying could potentially financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually hurt people, and he has no idea what he's doing.
I think it was something like that.
But the main thing people took away from it was that the first thing he said was financially. So you could tell he was really just concerned that the NBA was about to lose money if China cut ties with them. Mm-hmm. Because China holds ties with a lot of corporations in America. A lot of money goes through China.
Like, I learned that like, I think it was either Iron Man 1 or 2, that there are literally hidden cutscenes that were exclusively for China of Iron Man being saved by a Chinese doctor. Like, almost 11 to 12 minutes of footage specifically to attract more Chinese viewers, so they could get that like.
They
niche.
cater to China.
They want that niche. They want the people there. It's the same thing with India too. Like in Netflix, Netflix literally has, I think it's either like a $3 subscription or a $1 subscription for mobile users in India. Wanna know why? Because I think it's over like 10 million cell phone users. Actually, hell no, it's way more than 10 million.
More cell phone users than TV users?
Yes. Like,
I guess that makes sense.
Like, there are a fuck ton of mobile phone users over there. Because there's a lot of people over there. So they want that market. So they're literally just being like, yeah, you can get Netflix for $3. And we over here just being like, why are we paying $12 a month, though? Y'all...
Because we can afford it.
Y'all built it here, though. It's not for y'all. We need their money. Even though we have plenty of money and make millions off you.
They couldn't afford to give them as much as we do. Because if they did, they'd eventually go broke trying to keep up with just the Netflix subscription.
That's just another form and example of what I call just dirty capitalism. Like, I understand this business practice, but then you fuck over, like, the people it was originally built for. Like, it pains me at work when I literally have to throw away food because the restaurant's just like, oh, nah, we don't. You have to throw it away and then specifically tie the bags up and put them at the bottom of the dumpster.
We're really wasteful. A lot of the restaurants in America are wasteful. Any chain restaurant, I can guarantee you, doesn't really care about
Return that burger. They just throw it away.
Actually, Chick-fil-A might be good.
I feel like Chick-fil-A might give it to their employees if ain't nothing wrong with it, or let the customer keep. Chick-fil-A definitely let the customer keep it.
Chick-fil-A will let it go.
Yeah, but see, it's a whole lot of other shit with Chick-fil-A. I don't fuck with Chick-fil-A. Just like I had to stop fucking with Nestle. Or Nestle, whatever their name is.
I try not to fuck with most corporations.
Chick-fil-A fucks with, like, gay conversion camps and shit.
So does Mike Pence. And he was gay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, Mike. When Trump gets impeached or not get impeached.
He's not gonna. They've been trying to get him impeached for the past 3 years.
But it's just so many different corporations. Like Comcast, bruh, literally as a whole, it is seen universally that Comcast's whole point is just to, like, charge you more for less. They're just like, yo, we'll give you all these premium channels. And then they'll, like, bill you 2 months ahead of your billing cycle to try and bill you several times in 1 month.
Everybody tries to get as much money as they can out of you.
That's what I mean by, like, the corrupt... That's just...
That's human nature, bro. That's free market.
Nah, bro. That ain't free nature. That's something born of capitalism.
That is free market.
Because it ain't free market, bro. These aren't just people doing it. These are massive, corporations. These are people with, like, pull and leverage doing it. They don't need individual voices.
So what do you suggest happens when somebody works hard enough and gets that much money and is able to open a business and reaches that level? What do you say to that person?
You got some examples?
I don't know people, but that's how it has to happen.
I mean...
Henry Ford, wasn't that how Henry Ford...
I don't think Henry Ford had a monopoly, did he?
No, I'm not saying, like, going all the way to a monopoly, but he had a whole bunch of pull and money and power. Like he was the car guy.
I'm not 100% sure whether Henry Ford, like, actually paid or cared about his workers. That was probably I'm not sure during what times of America and what regulations or standards were. But the whole point is that it's the workers it's the workers and then it's the customer. Because, like, the system and inspired, like, spirit of America now is, like, is money, 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 money. Get as much money out of everything as you can. It doesn't matter about personal issues. It doesn't matter about anything.
Okay.
Like, if me pushing up the rent on this block pushes out all these people that can't afford it because their rent's been the same for the last 20 years, I don't care. You should figure something out, bro. Your rent's up by $400.
They gotta find somewhere to live. I mean, it's fucked up, but they're allowed to do that.
Retail, clothing, like, don't get me wrong. I know that businesses have to make their money by doing upsell. That's just trade and barter and free market. However, there's no reason that a business like McDonald's, there's a reason they can sell you a burger for $2, bro. That burger cost them cents to make. Yeah. And then, what does McDonald's do? It still pays its workers the bare fucking minimum. You want to know why McDonald's service is ass? Because the workers get paid ass. No one cares about a $7.25 an hour job.
I mean, it's a starter job, bro. It's just a McDonald's. You really don't need to know anything to work there.
Or if the manager.
The manager gets paid a little bit more. But if they could eventually take their talents elsewhere.
So they have managers. They have general managers. Then they obviously got the people for the area.
Or if they end up happy as a manager of McDonald's for 10, 30 years, then that's up with them.
Somebody got to do it, bro.
Not for that long. Not one person for that long.
Because jobs at this place, what they specifically do is pay their workers the bare minimum. Because it's these kids that's coming in that they know aren't going to be there for 4 years. They're going to work those kids like dogs. Those kids aren't going to care. They're going to get their money and leave, and they're just going to keep doing it. And the service is always going to be shit, and the standard's always going to be shit. And they're just going to keep making more money. Because they don't pay their workers a living wage.
So how should you make McDonald's better than... Just paying them more wouldn't fix the problem.
Probably would. Chick-fil-A service is fucking exemplary. They get paid well. They don't get paid minimum wage, fam. I'm pretty sure they make like $12 an hour and up. That's fast
That's because
food.
you got to do a lot to work at Chick-fil-A. You got to be a certain type of person.
You don't think niggas would do that at McDonald's if McDonald's was paying them $12 an hour? The hardest thing about your day is handing somebody a chicken sandwich and they didn't get their mayonnaise, so handing them a pack of mayonnaise and being like, have a good day, sir. I do that already for pizza.
I mean, but do you have the Christian values that go along with Chick-fil-A's business model?
You know how many gay people I know work at Chick-fil-A?
Well, then they got away with it.
All I'm saying is they still pay their workers.
That works against you.
They pay their workers a living wage, and they also care about their customers. While granted, they do have fucked up like beliefs, but no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. But you can still limit your participation in it, which is what I try to do.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, with some companies, you find out later on that they were entirely effed. Like Blizzard. Like, I never really was like a massive supporter of Blizzard, but now I'm definitely still just looking at them like, hey, this is kind of a fish situation. To continue to support them would basically mean that, like, you don't care that they, like, will fold for the Chinese government. And, like, anytime I see, like, a major influential power in media or anything fold to a government, that's dangerous. Because that means they're influencing you.
Anytime anything folds to any power should be seen as dangerous because that means it's being influenced.
Yeah. Like, that's not something light. I don't know. It's weird. Really weird, really challenging. And it's almost like... It's almost like people rather meme it than actually care about it.
Yeah, most people just share a post, make a comment, like something, and then say that that's the support. Then just go about the lives the same way they did before. Support saving the ocean, but then continue to use plastic and litter and just really not care about the environment in any sort of way.
All I can really say on that is I try and limit the amount of plastic I buy. I try not to, like... I don't litter. I don't litter, and I don't fuck with people that litter. I will put you out my car if you try and throw something out my window, bro.
That's the most trifling thing you can do.
Like, that is just trifling. Like, that's just some...
You have no reason. You could have just held on to that.
That's some ignorant shit. You just, fuck the planet.
That's not even ignorant. You just don't care. You truly do not care.
Try to dispose of my stuff in the best way. Like, I try to keep most glass.
True. Yeah, me too.
Like, try to. Like, glass bottles
glass,
or, like, liquor containers or etc. But, it's gonna take more than that, bro. Because there's not an entire, like, island the size of Texas in the Pacific Ocean full of garbage because I use paper plates, my nigga.
I mean, it contributes.
It contributes, but niggas could just stop selling me plastic plates or no plastic silverware.
You could stop buying it and then they would stop selling it. How about you buy something
How about
else?
the people with, like, the incredible amount of leverage not do it?
You have just as much power. Not in a business sense, but you don't have to buy their products. You can
And
just
I try
buy
to
a
refrain
regular
from
plate.
it. But in the same sense of that, though. Like, everyday, even if every consumer stopped doing it, bro, or the people that actually do care stop doing it, it still wouldn't be enough. It still has to start with the corporations and the people that manufacture it and make it.
How do they change it?
If they stopped, it would all just stop in general.
So you want them to just shut down their company?
They don't have to shut down their company. They could do an alternative. There are alternatives that would not only be cheaper, but also more environmentally friendly. But they're just like, nah, we make more money off this. Why? Why make it cheaper for the people?
Because it wouldn't be. It's not cheaper then.
It's cheaper for the people, just not cheaper for them. They can make everything out of hemp, bruh. Why don't they? Because it challenges.
The hemp thing, that goes back a long time. I don't even know where it starts. Some idiot bandit.
I think it starts with old boy Harry J. Anslinger. Right after alcohol prohibition ended, so I think that's probably what the 20s, early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Also around the time the war on drugs started, the first one. I know that timeline. Him and fucking Randolph Hearst.
It's almost over. War on drugs
Barely.
is almost over.
Nah, the war on pot might be over. The war on drugs not over, my nigga. Like, cartel's too strong now.
Are we dealing with the cartel though?
Yes. Latin third world. Bruh. Like, you can say what you want about the immigration. Like, oh yeah, there are people. Like, there's a reason that, like, some of the people in those, like, mobs of crowds are fleeing their native country. And it's because shit's terrible over there. And we destabilized and fucked off a lot of the countries where those immigrants are coming from. We personally meddled in their government and made them weak and weakened their democracies. And guess who's taking over? The cartels. And now people's lives is, my son might grow up and at 13 get a strap put in his hand. Or my daughter might grow up and at 13, 14 just get snatched because she looked good. And if I say something, I'm going to get shot in the face. Better alternatives.
So how do they fix that? That's not an American problem though.
We caused it, my nigga. And now they're here. And now it is an American problem. And no one wants to acknowledge that we caused it. So are we going to clean up our mess? Or are we just going to look at the product of our mess and just be like, hey, y'all need to... Nah, that is what America does. It just looks at the products of its mess.
People would look at it as wrong if we went to clean it up.
Not really. Is that why they didn't clean up anything about slavery? It took them so long for all that shit?
What?
To the point of today, where niggas are still getting shot in their apartments?
How do you just correlate slavery to...
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, the progression of it. Like, America literally just looks at its messes and it's just like, hey, y'all will figure that out. It's better than what it used to be. That's it. That's what America does. Immigrants coming to our border, they're the problem. They're telling them that these poor immigrants are the problem with their country being like our infrastructure starting to crumble and be fucked. That it's immigrants' fault or other poor people's fault when it's not. It's not their fault. It's the people that could like literally lower their salaries by like 0.5% to 1% and completely make up for it. The people that are hoarding wealth and causing the loss of lives, environmental damage, basically like all for social status and a score.
Yeah.
And I'm against that. That's the type of corporate greed I don't like. And then we got the politicians that are literally subscribed to it and lobby for those people. Hillary got paid like gets paid like $250,000 an hour to speak. What the fuck Hillary Clinton got to say? What has she
Somebody
done?
pays her.
It's worth 250K an hour. You know who paid her that? Goldman Sachs. Pharmacy. Bill Clinton is a confirmed sexual fucking predator. Connection to Epstein. The black community love Bill Clinton. Why? No one knows. Because they just miscommunicate and miseducate the populace. I know I'm bouncing around here, but the whole goal of the subject is definitely fuck private elite corporatism. And then going further than that, fuck corrupt capitalism. I'm not saying I hate capitalism. I understand capitalism, that if somebody makes a good, that you should pay them for that good. I hate the side of it of this, gotta get as much as I can out of everything and I don't care about anyone. Because this ain't the Rockefeller days, and all that ever did was breed monopolies, and then we had to fight against monopolies, and then workers had to make unions to actually make their job to care about them.
Okay, but nowadays, in the day and age where we can find out and learn anything, as a consumer, you can see if the company's up to some shitty practices that you don't believe in, and you can just avoid their product.
Alright, a lot of them don't, but then there's still instances where you can't. Alright, you want to get something shipped in, Rashad. All the shipping companies have shady shit going on behind them and don't pay their workers enough or have terrible to no union representation. How you gonna get your shit shipped in?
Don't, or find another way.
There's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. Everything you do is affected by it in a way.
So much. You don't have to consume as much.
That's the point. Is to not consume as much. But people don't not consume as much. People overconsume. Whether it's in food, media, social media to be specific. Just useless forms of outlets. Not forms of outlets. Useless outlets.
That's the person. That's on the person.
It's on the person, but bro, if you dangle something in front of people knowing that that's what they're going to go for, are you the one to blame for it, or are they the one to blame for taking it?
Bro, they're a person. So
bro, if I offered you $50, but I knew that when you tried to pull it out of my hand, it just snap and clamp his finger down on you. You wanted that $50. I knew it would do that to you. I didn't have to do that to you, but I did it. It's not your fucking fault that you wanted $50, bruh.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the victim's fault, Rashad. The consumer is not the one to blame.
So the consumer is not to blame for buying the products?
Bro, that's what people do. That's what stimulates our government. That's what makes us good. I don't have a problem with that form of capitalism.
Buy products from shitty companies.
Bro, most American companies are shit, and all their product are built to destroy themselves.
Support small businesses.
Small businesses don't build iPhones. Or my house. Or most American-made product that are literally ass, and that's why people buy foreign-made, and why China has such a large stake in our economy. Because American-made shit is garbage, because the people in America literally sell it to you with this buy-to-break-down shit going on. Or this constant, just makes you constantly have to recycle it or repair it. A lot of American-made shit is not built to last. And that's because of, in my opinion, capitalism. Now, I will argue that, and I will go into more.
Americans don't make good stuff because they will make it so people don't have to buy it as much.
They'll make it to where people have to, do more for it. It's not just this is a quality product, and here you go. This is a quality American product, and it's going to break in, a little bit, or somehow be underperformance to make you buy another one next year when we make a slightly better version of it.
Buy a better car. From a better brand.
I mean, there's always that option, bro. But sometimes you got the choices, but you don't have it. It's not the consumer. What if everyone in the market just offered you a shit option?
Get away from that market. Don't buy anything today. Go somewhere else.
That's not always an option, Rashad. That's pretty simple to just say, but we live in that world. Like,
where people just want to buy things.
Hey, man, that's what stimulates the economy, right? That's supposed to be the good side of capitalism.
You can't excuse greed for stimulating the economy.
Then why are we?
We're not.
That's basically, like, our GDP is high, but that doesn't mean anything because everything about the country is, like, uneven. There's no, it only looks good for the rich people. Like, the entire face of America, when you see it brought to other countries, is they think we're basically our commercials. When that is the opposite of America, and most Americans are disgruntled and unsatisfied with their day-to-day lives. And it's not because everyone just somehow fucked up and didn't win the race.
There's a lot more poor people than there are rich people.
That's just not always because that, like, bruh, you could get a job working at a factory that could support your family. That factory has since decided to hire temp workers. Alright, now it's not even temps. Now that factory outsourced all its business to fucking India. What's the point? And companies are continuing to do that. You could call customer support for whatever phone provider you got right now, and you get an Indian person. Because it's cheaper and it makes them more money. And it took those used to be people in America with jobs. But no one cares about patriotism when it comes to outsourcing for their company because it's all about money. It's not about the country.
Then we need laws to prevent outsourcing.
I mean, yeah, but guess who's not going to lobby for those laws? Fake politicians that are just supported by said companies or corporations. And while I can't give clear examples of those now, I can definitely go get examples. So it's all just I'm not trying to, propose anything different because I definitely think that capitalism has its benefits if done more ethically. But we currently live in what I consider unethical capitalism, where people will die because they can't afford medicine when that medicine is overpriced for no reason. It's diabetics that can't get insulin when they can just they have to literally risk federal charges from their government to go to another country to buy insulin that's 100 times cheaper, which is the same product, but their country's charging them literal hundreds more for it. That's greedy and that's bullshit, fool.
That's the pharmaceutical industry.
It's
a lot more industries than the pharmaceutical, but what can you say about it, man?
Limit your consumption under this fucked up system until we find a better way. Live beneath your means, guys.
Live like the old people.
Don't necessarily even live like your old people. Drink water.
You gotta do more than drink water.
Research the brands you put your heart and soul into. So many people out here wearing Timberland and Louis Vuitton, and they leaders don't really care about they workers or probably your demographic.
A lot of the clothes you wear, the people who made it don't really care about you.
If you like it as your style, though, I guess you can do whatever you want. Just if you really like the taste of a Chick-fil-A sandwich, man, go get you a Chick-fil-A sandwich. But just know that $3.99 just put some gay kid in a chair to get shocked. It also put money in that kid behind the counter that really needs that so they can get their gas in the next week of school. So there's a double edge to it. So you just got to really think about what you're doing. And just realize your role in it and be willing to accept your role in it and find a way around it or try and think of better alternatives for it. Maybe not eat Chick-fil-A 7 times a week. Maybe cook at home.
If you don't believe in what they're doing, then don't support them. As simple as that.
That's what I do.
Whether it doesn't matter how bad you like the taste of it. If you support it, then you support it. If you know what they're about and you continue to support them, then you support them.
But I think we'll try and wrap up the episode for today. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the 11th episode. I know we got into our heated rants and discussions, but I'm going to be back real soon. I plan on dropping at least maybe one more episode after this one. So that'll be 12. I'm trying to at least make it to episode 12 in the month of October. Because with November coming up and after that, it's going to be a lot of holidays. And I don't necessarily know if I'm going to feel like that. But thanks to Rashad for tuning in and bringing the people the word. Again, thank you, Rashad.
No problem.
And this is the PsycheWard podcast, everybody. We'll see you next time.